suppose, like, I've kind of always thought that nature is disgusting and horrible. Like, as long as I can remember, watching National Geographic and stuff, like, I remember as a kid just saying, like, how is that okay? Like, for this predator to victimize this prey animal, and you hear the excuses from normies, and I mean, I never found that convincing. I thought it was horrible, and I kind of had a grudge against victimizers of that sort. And it's always pretty obvious to me that nature is not a nice place. So yeah.
Yeah, nature is horrible. It's a, killing machine, basically. It's like it just kills it's a killing system, for sentient life. It's the planet of the pain-feeling animals.
Isn't that funny? Like, especially coming from vegans, like, they're offended that you feel bad for, like, a little baby mouse being crushed to death. Like, that's what they're offended by? You giving a damn about something?
Yeah.
Oh man, so stupid.
Yeah. They're always, they get really triggered by like the most whimsical stuff. Like they don't even understand that like there's a big issue with the animal wildlife suffering in the vast majority of instances. They don't understand that like everything that they are doing happens within the realm of this nature thing. Like all of the slaughterhouses happen within the realm of the nature for sentient life. And nature for sentient life has been happening for 541 million years of animals having much more catastrophic, much more violent deaths than in any slaughterhouse. They've been getting bloodborne illnesses that literally scoop out their insides slowly for the last like 541 million years. I mean, those things have been happening. Parasites have been eating the insides out of animals slowly, crawling into their buttholes and eating their intestines and destroying them completely from the inside out slowly over like weeks on end. I mean, that doesn't happen in the slaughterhouses. They euthanize those ones very quickly. They don't allow them to just have their insides completely scooped out. I mean, they'll have like boils and stuff like that on their bodies, and that's awful as well. But they don't die from it. They don't like become, I mean, completely, in some instances, but they don't get eaten alive. Certainly, they don't allow them to be eaten alive in the vast majority of instances, but that's been happening on a daily basis for the last 541 million years on a second-by-second basis in nature. That's been happening. So, it's not it's not even on the same playing field. Like, at least, like, it's within the realm of nature that this thing is happening, like with slaughterhouses and stuff. So
yeah, well, people just they tend to just use the word nature to refer to things that they like and dismiss all things they dislike as unnatural. So meat eaters will say eating meat is natural, but rape is not natural. And then a dumb vegan will tell you, well, eating meat for humans is not natural, but and therefore wrong, but it's okay when another species eats another animal. That's okay because that's natural.
Oh yeah, they never seem to understand that like the whole thing is just like when you're using the word natural, what you're saying is you're saying within the realm of what happens naturally for sentient life, basically, is what they're saying. And they don't understand that, like, rape has been happening. Like, this whole, like, consensual sex thing is a brand new thing. It's, like, only been happening for, like, the last so many years of human civilization, really. Like, even before that, it wasn't, like, and then before that, there was just hundreds of millions of years of animals just raping each other like constantly. It still happens on a daily basis in nature. It's totally commonplace, and they think that it's not natural for that to happen. Like, of course it's natural. Nature sucks. Nature's a pile of shit, like it's a complete pile of shit, and they don't get it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just whenever someone mentions that something's natural, that's purely an excuse to not care about something that you should care about, right?
Yeah, yeah, nature is an abomination. There's tons of hypocrisy going on with people on a daily basis, thinking that it's something that isn't an abomination, something that isn't just a monstrosity that needs to be like stopped. You know,
Yeah.
so
Well, I mean, people are so easily deceived by appearances because, I mean, it does look nice, and obviously, there's good evolutionary reasons. You know, as a rule of thumb, um, a natural landscape is beneficial for our own species and stuff, and so it makes sense that we like seeing trees and rivers and stuff. But you know, you just have to ask yourself: is your aesthetic pleasure worth all of that pain and suffering? And if you're honest, and if you actually care about pain and suffering that's not occurring in your own brain, then you can't possibly say that it is, right?
no, yeah, it's of course not. My answer is of course not. But you know, it's that's not like other people just won't even pay attention. You know, they can't even listen to like taking place. Like I guess they just can't visualize it. Like maybe they can't just like you know I don't know. I really don't know. I guess there's
Well,
a lot of things.
it's
Yeah, I don't know what
it's
they
not
are
like,
thinking.
well, I think it's like it's pretty easy. You know, you see these serene landscapes, and you actually don't see the suffering taking place because, like, for example, a cat slaughters a mouse, and you actually have to be paying very close attention to witness that suffering because if you just look away for a minute, the mouse will disappear down someone's throat. All of the victims, I mean, victims tend to hide when they're in distress. Things tend to be consumed. You know, the bodies of the victims are consumed very quickly. So you don't see the suffering. You only see, most of the time, you only witness the animals looking rather content and serene. But I mean, that's not the reality. It's difficult to see the reality.